Mr. Jain, please, your view.
Well, I cannot agree more with Kun Kop Kan about leadership. One very good example is probably who we know very well, and this is Steve Jobs. And but if Steve Jobs is with us today, I think he would beg to differ from Kun Kop Kan. He said the market doesn't know what it needs until we produce it. But well, it takes quite a lot of guts, you know, and quite a lot of vision to come up with a statement like that. And I think it's wonderful that we have some leaders like Steve Jobs. But what happened in Thailand is that how many Steve Jobs do we expect to have in the world? Probably not too many. And how many Steve Jobs do we expect to have in Thailand? Probably non-existent at all. So it's very difficult to encourage someone with the success story of Apple, or even with the success story of the one door, the refrigerator of Kun Kop Kan. For lay people, for normal walk on the street people, day in, day out, it's very difficult to talk to them about the innovation. First of all, they would ask, what is innovation? And when he start to understand what innovation is, he would start to say that, what is the price tag of innovation? He would compare that to the money he has in his bank, or the money he has in his wallet, and try to balance whether he should move on to that innovative path to achieve innovation. But actually, I would like to say that for my business, we produce nylon. And for nylon to come up with an innovative material outside of nylon is non-existent. So the chance is probably not much at all, because we know that, well, there are acrylic, nylon, polyester, not much more. But if we are talking about the bioplastics, then there could be some new innovative materials. But for bioplastics, I was just part of a committee to grant a budget to a pilot plant to produce the bioplastic. And just the pilot plant will probably cost about 500 million baht or 600 million baht. The grant was for 300. So even if you got the grant, you would have to spend at least more or less the same amount of money to come up with the pilot plant. And that's just the pilot plant, not the production facility. So to come up with product innovation is really not simple. It's not easy. It's not something that everybody can do, unlike Kun Phairat. Kun Phaichit. Yes. But if you consider the innovations in the Thai industries, I think you would encounter many successful cases, and then they don't involve product innovation. They involve some process innovation that Kun Kop Kan just mentioned. The process innovation can be done by the people in the field, can be done by the technician minding the production equipment, can be done by lab people who happen to know the material or know the process that he worked on every day, day in, day out. So process innovation is something that is much closer to our society, much closer to our network of technicians and people involved in the production and production processes. So in this sense, I would like to say that even though the process innovation may not sound very sexy, unlike the product innovation, process innovation works. Process innovation works nonetheless. It is a very constructive and productive process that you come up and you can, especially for the world at this stage, where we care so much about global warming, we care so much about carbon footprint, we care so much about environment. Processes that reduce the burden to these aspects, to these issues, are considered innovation, process innovation as well. And that is something that we promote at the Federation of Thai Industries. We got support from the OSMEP, the Office for SME Promotion, to do what we call the innovation coupon. That what we get from this project is two things. One is we get some innovative ideas, be it product innovation, service innovation, or process innovation. We aim for something like 300. We got a feasibility study of about 50, and about 250 was through to implementation. So with these projects going on, at least we get about 300 ideas for innovation. The secondary thing that we get from this project is, of course, a network of innovative or innovation provider, service provider. There are some people who are very familiar with the industry, very familiar with the service, very familiar with the process of business, of the industry that were involved. They provide guidance, they provide ideas, and probably in their line of work, they probably have done that before, or their company has gone through that path before. So they would come in and advise, they would come in and give suggestions. These people, they serve as a network for innovative ideas. And that is the secondary thing that we get from this project. And sometimes I think the secondary thing is more important and more outreaching than the primary target that we get from this project. So that is the project that we have done. We have come up with a network of about 800 innovation service provider, which is quite a substantial amount across the industries that we have done. So that is something that I think in a way you can say that it is an innovative way to promote innovations in SMEs, because as Kun Gopkan said, the SMEs they're never confident, or they're never sure of themselves that they can run through this process of coming up with the innovations, and then from the innovations go on to the marketplace or the commercial phase. This project was something that guided them through that process. And I hope that from this process, from this project, we would be able to come up with a number of very good ideas and very good services. And at the same time, it would prove that innovation is much closer to one's work than it was thought before. You agree?
Very much so. Yes. That reflects that for any business, we have to just look at the way people working, just ordinary workers, can actually develop their own sort of process innovation if they given encouragement to do so.
Yes. Well, in a way, success rate of process innovation is, I think, much higher than product innovation. It's something that can be done quite readily. It can be done by just encouraging, just giving them ideas that, well, sometimes by reward. If they come up with the suggestions of an idea, then if that idea works, then we just give them reward for that idea. And of course, if the idea was worth doing a patent on it, then we would encourage them to get a patent as well. That is something that I think can happen, and I think it is a much closer step than the product innovation that sounds very, very attractive and sounds very sexy. But I just wonder, you know, how many Steve Jobs are there, how many Albert Einsteins are there, how many Alexander Fleming are there, you know, to come up with such a grassroots idea of innovation. So I think by going this way, you know, we come up with a much better success rate than just to focus on the product innovation.
Thank you very much.